So I grew up in Worcester, Massachusetts, which most people are not familiar with, but it's about 35 minutes west of Boston. And I grew up in a low-income housing community. We call it the hood, but that's essentially where I grew up, single-parent household, and there was a lot of domestic violence that turned into drugs, that turned into drug trafficking, suicide ideation. There was a lot of things that turned into. And you don't notice it as a child. You don't notice a lot of things around you and why they are the way that they are. You kind of just notice that your mom's not around. Yeah, I want to say I was about 11 or 12, and I literally walked into, it was a community center before it was turned into a Boys and Girls Club, and that year they had actually chartered as a Boys and Girls Club. And I was playing around with a couple of people on the court and literally got pulled to the side, and he was like, "Who do you play for?" And I was like, "I don't play for anybody." I don't play for anybody at all. So, and that was my first introduction to the club. That was probably the first time where, or a place where I can honestly say I was looked at and viewed as a person, as a human being, as a child, as someone that did have potential, versus everything that was going on at home or all of the things that I felt like were connected to me and can be seen from a mile away. The club was my first job at 14. It was my first summer job. I was probably doing like, I don't want to call it the lowest of the low, but I've probably done every job at the club. I've been a girls basketball coach at the club. I've just been a general staff where I'm just kind of going with the ebb and flow of the club depending upon what they need. I've been a site director at the club that I actually started at back home. So I've done a lot of club work. Essentially, it is very much for me and what I've been through, it is full circle. We have a lot of opportunities that we're able to give the kids. We have a lot of connections that we get that we're able to allow the kids to participate in, from football games to basketball leagues and a whole bunch of educational programs. But essentially, and this is gonna sound so cliche, but I'll break it down, it's being the person that I needed when I was younger. That's much, I feel like people say that, but for me that means allowing a kiddo to come in here with everything that they're going through that we may not know about, and showing them care, showing them compassion, allowing them to know that they're heard. Like, we hear you, we see you, you can trust me, and allowing that to be the truth. If I could, like, I would want to prevent any kid from going through adult situations by themselves and feeling like they have nobody. Like, that is my biggest thing, because I went through some really difficult things by myself and nobody noticed until I got to the club, and that was a long time. And with the way things are now, with suicide rates, with depression rates, there's so much mental illness out there. I really strive to make sure kids don't go through those things alone, regardless of what it is, especially in this day and age.